into your character.
I am. Hang on. 1 second. Okay, let's go. So it's the closing stages of the Breaking Convention 2019 here in London, and guess who I found on the street? Let's see who it is. Who are you, sir?
My name's Bruce Parry.
Hello, Bruce.
Hi.
So tell me, what do you do, Bruce?
I'm a documentary maker, TV, film, and also trying to start community life.
Fantastic. So what are you doing here at Breaking Convention 2019?
I was invited to give a little chat about my experiences. I was very lucky that I was able to. I had the great privilege of taking a number of plant medicines with tribal people around the world, making documentaries for the BBC, and that kind of made me aware of what the real potential is of plant medicines and how obviously they've become more popular, and all the difficulties and also the great benefits that are part of that.
Fantastic. So this is my favourite question when I get to ask all the interviewees, and we get some fascinating answers.
I bet you do.
So,
what is it?
Please tell me what it was your first and/or most significant psychedelic experience.
First and or most significant. I reckon my first was unquestionably my most significant. It was you have to remember, I grew up very institutionalised. If I'd seen anyone smoking a spliff when I was a kid, or even in my early 20s, I'd have called the police.
Okay.
I was super against. My mum told me she'd disown me if I ever did a drug. And for me, drugs were the sort of normal institutional idea of drugs. So anything that was illegal, essentially, not taxed. So I joined the Marines from boarding school. I joined the Marines and then led expeditions around Asia, and had a very strong mind about these things, and then fell in love and was invited to take some mushrooms in the Gili Islands off Lombok in Indonesia. And I had no idea what I was stepping into, other than I'd heard about mushrooms, and I was like very keen to have an authentic experience. And anyway, I was with my friend, and she gave me this big cloudy glass of tea, which I later realised is like laced, fully dosed up, full-on mushroom tea, and drank it all, and with a group of people, and everyone's pointing and giggling and stuff, and I didn't feel a thing. And so she said to me, "Oh, you probably just need more." So I drank another cup. I still didn't see it. I drank another cup, and then suddenly my world went upside down. And had one of the strongest mushroom experiences of my life. Well, at that time, obviously the only, but like even since, I mean, I don't remember having had it as strong. So much so that, I mean, classic, full-on hallucinatory experiences of, I remember lying with her on a couch one time, and she looked over her shoulder and went like that, and I was like, "What's that?" She goes, "Oh no, it's just a cockroach." And then I saw it literally like out of the film, a sea of cockroaches coming towards her, drag her hand. And we ended up into a bit of a bad spin, actually. I remember pixies and fairies everywhere, walking. I mean, literally, I was in the realm, and walking along a path one time, and then finding myself in a hole in my arm, like 10 foot long, and it hurt, like right up there. And like, how on earth did you get up there, and how am I down here in this hole? You know, like, it was a full-on, proper trip. And it wasn't great, actually. It wasn't great. It was like she forgot to mention to me the most important thing, which is, don't worry.
Yes.
You're going to come back and you'll be fine. This is just an experience, ride with it. And so I genuinely thought, having been an officer in the Marines and led loads of expeditions, I was fully aware of who I thought I was, and then everything got turned upside down. Yeah. And it was quite a trip. But I do remember that, and this is the only most important moment, is that was definitely the beginning of me questioning everything. That was the beginning of me realizing that I wasn't Christian anymore, and that I needed to go on a deep journey to figure out who I was and what this was all about. And that started everything that was positive in the rest of my life.
Absolutely. Isn't it incredible? I mean, the number of stories we've heard, people have had life-changing moments on psychedelics. I think that's the most important thing, because this can
yeah, absolutely was. I mean, it was difficult, and I don't think it was held well, and I've learnt a lot from the problems of how that was administered and how it was held, and I think it could have been done a lot better. But bless my dear, loving French, who did her best. But clearly, at the end of the day, though, I had a definitively life-changing experience that has turned out to be one of the most positive things to reflect on.
And I think that's a great place to wrap up. And I just want to say I'm a great fan of your work, and thank you so much for everything you do and for bringing this stuff onto the BBC, for God's sake. You know, BBC, they're doing drugs. But it's wonderful, it really is, and I'm pleased that you're part of this sea change. And thank you for being one of the rock stars of the Psychedelic Planet. Thank you, Bruce.
Nice to meet you.
Lovely.
Lots of love. Cheers, guys.
Yeah.
Well done for getting me.